What happens when jealousy rises against the servant of God? In this often overlooked story from the Old Testament, we meet Miriam, the sister of Moses, who dared to question God's chosen leader. What began as a whisper of jealousy ended in divine judgment. And the entire nation of Israel stood still until God's mercy prevailed. It all began when Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman he had married. But this was more than a complaint about his wife. Deep inside, they were wrestling with envy. They said among themselves, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he also spoken through us?" In their hearts, they wanted equality with Moses' calling, forgetting that God himself had set Moses apart. But the Lord heard their words. Without warning, the Lord summoned all three, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, to the tent of meeting. The people of Israel watched in silence as the glory of the Lord descended in a pillar of cloud. God called them forward, and his voice thundered, "When I raise up prophets, I reveal myself through visions and dreams. But not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. With him I speak face to face, clearly and openly, not in riddles. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant?" The Lord's anger burned against Miriam and Aaron, and then the cloud lifted. In that moment, judgment fell. Miriam's skin became leprous, white as snow. Her hands, her face, her body were consumed with disease. Horror spread through the camp. Aaron, shaken with fear, turned to Moses and begged, "Please, my Lord, do not hold against us the sin we have so foolishly committed. Do not let her be like a child born dead, with its flesh half eaten away." He pleaded for mercy. And how did Moses respond? Not with anger, not with revenge. Though he had been slandered, Moses interceded for his sister. He lifted his voice to heaven and prayed, "O God, please heal her." This prayer of humility touched the heart of God. Yet God, in his wisdom, replied, "If her father had spit in her face, would she not bear her shame for 7 days? Let her be confined outside the camp for 7 days, and only then will she be restored." So Miriam was shut out of the camp. She lived in disgrace and isolation while the people of Israel waited. The entire nation, hundreds of thousands, did not move forward on their journey until Miriam returned. A single act of jealousy delayed the progress of millions. From Miriam's story, we learn unforgettable lessons. Guard your tongue, for words born of envy can destroy lives. Honor God's chosen servants, because when you oppose them, you oppose the one who sent them. Trust that God defends his own. Moses never lifted a finger to justify himself, yet God rose to defend him. Choose humility, for Moses prayed for the one who had risen against him. And remember that sin never affects just one person, it ripples out, bringing consequences to an entire community. But we also see God's mercy. Though Miriam was disciplined, she was not destroyed. After 7 days of shame, she was brought back into the camp, healed and restored. And only then did Israel rise and move forward again. Discipline gave way to mercy, and God's people continued their journey. So, what about us? How often do we let jealousy, pride, or careless words bring harm to others? How often do we question the ones God has appointed, forgetting that He Himself defends them? May we learn from Miriam's story to speak wisely, walk humbly, and honor God's order. If you were in Miriam's shoes, would you have spoken against Moses? Think about it, and let this story be a reminder. God hears every word we speak, and He honors those who remain humble before Him. Share this story for others to learn from. Miriam's story. Also like and comment on this video. And please subscribe to this channel for more Bible stories brought to life.